Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into Locker Room Sports Talk. Thank you all for coming by and hanging out with me here on a Big Talk Tuesday. We wouldn't have it any other way. Anybody has got something to put out there on the scales and feel like they got something to talk about, hey, right here's the chance. Comment section's wide open. If you want to come on live with me, I don't have a problem with that at all. I'll be glad to send you a link and hook you right up to come on here and prove your point and let us all know how great you are and how much you really know about college football. So again, link is right here. Just send me a message over on Messenger, my page and I'll send it right out to you. And you come on here and give us your case of what's going on and what you're feeling about this weekend coming up ahead. As far as college football, we're going to look at some games. There are a few interesting games, SEC matchups like Missouri, Oklahoma. Is there a chance that Oklahoma drops one at home to Missouri? Also, we're going to talk about, Skattebo played out at Arizona State. We got some news about his past partner in crime, his quarterback, Sam Levitt. Going to talk about him. And while I did mention Skattebo, he's out on IR. He's at the Giants, right? Well, he was up in New York, and as WWE Raw was there last night, Skattebo felt like he needed to get into the swing of things, and felt like he needed to, come right out and tell everybody why he was at WWE Raw. So, let's throw it up here on the old interweb. Let's go to share screen and right here. We'll kill the sound so we don't get no copyrights, and we'll hit play. Kind of see what happens there. This is we're talking about old Skattebo. He's injured, and there's a lot of people coming at him. What's up, Jeff? There's a lot of people coming at him saying, hey, why are you out here on the injured reserve and, out here doing your thing and not feeling like, you're supposed to be injured, man. What's up? What's going on with you? So that's kind of that. What do y'all think about it? Do you think just because he's injured that he's supposed to just he's just supposed to stop living life and just supposed to get over it and just stay at home because he's injured? And is it wrong for him to be? Is it wrong for him to be at a Raw? Is it? I don't know. What do y'all think? I don't really see a big deal. I'm talking about Skattebo. We got some more news to talk about Arizona State, their quarterback also, but he was at a Raw event and he's injured, and there's a lot of people coming out after him saying, hey, man, that's, you shouldn't be out here, I don't know, living your life. I guess you're just supposed to stay at home if you're injured. I don't see how it's being a big deal. He was there with a bunch of friends and a comedian. I watch some of his podcasts too sometimes. So now let's get right over here into some more news. We're still talking about Arizona State. Let me go right here to add. I'm going to share the screen. And we're going to talk about right here, Sam Levitt. This broke earlier today. Breaking news: Arizona State quarterback Sam Levitt return to the program for next year is doubtful, says Stephen Wilfong. And Pete Nakos reports Levitt's camp is actively shopping the talented passer at a high level. Concerns, thoughts, theories? What do y'all feel about this? Is it a big deal or is it not a big deal? Is it something that I'm kind of surprised. Now we know that his coach is being shopped around. He's, supposedly Kenny Dillingham, which he had coached at Auburn some already. Is there a chance? Oh yeah, I don't know about his IR. I think he had hurt his leg. Talking about Skattebo. I don't know, Ben. That's a good question. I hadn't seen a return table time for him. Uh, yeah, so his partner in crime last year at Arizona State. This is just something normal that we're going to live with, and this is something that's going to, we're going to be looking at every day. What's up, Tommy? Quarterback's moving around. Is there a particular reason why he would want to move? What do y'all think? Well, it's not always. We got to stop saying stuff like, well, it's just about the money. Right, yeah. Yeah, he was at a WWE event, and you probably saw Aaron. Aaron watches some wrestling too. I didn't see that part of it. He was at a WWE Raw event last night, and the Judgment Day, some guys, Dominic Mysterio, and them come out there, and they're just messing with him and pushed him, and it's they knew what they were doing. It's kind of set up and part of the gig and what they were doing. But we're talking about his former quarterback. Where does he go? Where do you see Sam Levitt ending up leaving Arizona State? Look, they made the playoff, and Dillingham, it's been rumored to maybe take the Auburn job, maybe, but he did go to school to Arizona. I don't. I guess just some people do hunt the money. Some people do, or chasing. Some people are out there chasing big bucks, but where does he wind up going? Indiana's quarterback. He's not returning next year. He's kind of reached the end of his limit. So do you see him taking off and see Sam Levitt, quarterback at Arizona State? News broke earlier today that he's doubtful that he's back. His camp is shopping him at quote unquote at a high level. I've heard some people say Indiana. That's why I brought that name up. So let's just think about, some of the top schools, quarterbacks returning. And if their coach may be leaving, is that why he's leaving? I don't know. We're also going to talk about Lane Kiffin. Get into some of that. We'll talk about LSU team and kind of what they got going on. Don't talk about Georgia Bulldogs, what their, chances of maybe getting into the playoffs, to make a good run at it. Are they peaking at the right time now? So I kind of see Levitt just doing that, kind of making his way around to, be shopped and go the highest bidder and see who offers him some money and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's a good point, Jeff. We'll get into that. Lane Kiffin today, I watched his interview, and he says that it was said that Ole Miss gave him an ultimatum that they wanted to know by the Egg Bowl, where he was and what he was going to do. In the interview, Lane just straight up said that's not true, that nobody gave him an ultimatum. He was also asked that, do you see yourself being the coach here at Mississippi next year? And he didn't answer the question. But Lane likes to play on words, and he likes this kind of stuff. This is his style. It's kind of one of his faults, and I thought maybe he'd grown out of some of that. Do you think Lane leaves Ole Miss to go to LSU or Florida? The money situation is not a problem. I mean, they're going to offer supposedly 14 to 15 million a year for him, and they'll probably, give him a 5-year deal or something. Probably would be the best assumptions. Why? I don't. Yeah, I mean, look, guys, he's been successful at Ole Miss. We can go look at his record, and I think most of us watching, has watched Ole Miss play, and they're offering to give him, whatever he needs there. Yeah, talking about at Arizona State, Dillingham. He may have already told his quarterback that he is leaving. But do you leave Ole Miss, to go somewhere else? Now we all know that the state of Mississippi is not even close to recruits. I got a map somewhere that has all the numbers on the states of how many, ESPN 300 players, are in each state. And out of 1,300 players that sign at Power 5 schools, only about 20% of those are ESPN 300 players, and most of them are in a bigger popular state like Texas, California. I think Georgia had 30, and then California and Texas both had like 40 or something like that. Had a little bit more. Population-wise, it is a bigger states. California and Texas are. So, Lane leaving Ole Miss to go to LSU because there's better players in Louisiana. Sure, I can see that. But what he's put in and the time that he's invested at Ole Miss, man, it just really seems like he's spent time into this and real blood, sweat, and tears. We've really watched Lane, grow as a older, more mature coach now. I don't know, man. If you like it there and, and you're happy, and he'd said in an interview in McAfee a week or two ago that, he learned a long time ago from his dad and stuff not to chase money. But, yeah, can he, win a title at Ole Miss? Yeah, and it is easier to recruit in Florida. It is. And yeah, we're going to talk about Franklin going to Virginia Tech, what his chances are there, and kind of look at their conference and see where they're at. And remember, the bracket comes out tonight, and we're just on here talking about some games for the weekend and just some news and stuff going on today. Thought it was fun to share about Skattebo earlier. And, of course, we had to share about Levitt, the quarterback. He's out. Looking to make a change. And right now we're talking about Lane Kiffin. I'm personally, but we're different people. You can win. Guys, with a 12-team playoff now, hang on. With a 12-team playoff going on right now, what's the just get in the playoffs, and if Lane can come in like where he's at right now, if he can continue on that scale and win 10 games or something a year and get in there and rank it, I don't know if he can stay 6, 7, or 8, and we see how some of those, how the bracket will lay out, which we're going to be on a little bit. Burge is going to jump on here with us in probably about 30 minutes or so. And he's going to pull the bracket up on the ESPN, and we're going to go through it and talk about it. I wouldn't see the real point of him. Guys, just get in the playoff. It's like, what does it matter where you are as long as you're there? Would it be better with better players? Yeah, I guess, but sure. If you got some, man, look, I was thinking like, well, if you had some stud, quarterback or tailback. He's had those guys. Guys, Jackson Dart's at the Giants with Skattebo, who we just talked about, him at being at WWE Raw. And is it a big deal him being there? It's not to me. Lane's had quarterbacks. Junkins is a great tailback. Guys, he's got players. It's like he's really, started to build a treehouse in his backyard for Ole Miss. And to me, it just seems like he's kind of cut down the tree and he has really built a house. Just get in the playoffs and get a shot to play a number. See, if you're 5, you play 11, 10, 9. So, I mean, if he plays a number 10 or a number 9 ranked team, if he's ranked, 7 or 8, somewhere right in there, I mean, we can see the brackets from last week. Did you not think that Ole Miss could probably play with I think they could play with any of those teams. Why not? Defensively, you got some, some bad spots. I guess. I mean, heck, everybody's got some weak spots, but we could go through third down defenses and turnover ratios and see that they're not terrible. He runs the ball pretty well in all the games. The Lacey kid, the tailback there, I shared it on the page a while ago. He won some kind of national recognition, some kind of player of the week or something. So he can attract these players at Ole Miss. Could he get them at LSU? Yeah. But it's all about having, the right staff. And it's all about your fit to the area. Does he fit at LSU? Does Lane fit at LSU? A lot of people think he fits at Florida better. I guess I could see that. But my thing is why even leave LSU? Sorry. Why even leave Ole Miss? I don't know why. Just hang around there at Ole Miss and get in the playoffs and make a run at it. That's all you got to do. Yeah. Yeah, I'll start from the end of that, Aaron, and address some of that. Yeah, the NIL deal money would probably be bigger at Florida, and I think that's probably some news, something we could probably look up. Probably could. That he would have more, more access to more money at Florida or LSU than he would than he does now at Ole Miss. But with the portal and stuff, the portal is really important, which he's been really good at. It's just to help add some players that you kind of need just to fill a spot here and there. You can't build a team off the portal. You can see teams that's tried to do that, like Dion at Colorado and whatnot, and it's just not going to work out. I mean, it just won't. It never will work out. It's not going to work out because you're not really building a base of players. So, and yes, it's always about having, players. But being able to get out into high schools in the area and find those kids and build your program off these high school kids, that's how you really build a program. It's always going to be that way. I don't care how the portal is or what it is or how it works. And if there's one window or two windows, which there's one now, it's still always going to be important to have young talent out of high school. And people say, well, there's just, no, they don't want to play no more. They don't play for the university. They just play for a check. But I just don't, that's just not true completely. I think making that statement it's just an easy paintbrush way to paint things because you don't like it. You don't think that it's fair for people to get paid for something before they do the work, because that's just how we are, and that's how we think things are, which I agree with. Getting paid before you do something it's a bad idea for most, not all. So just to broad brush that yes, at Florida he would have access to better NIL and that type of stuff. And it seemed like they hung with Billy for a long time, and the other side of this, for Lane looking to go to LSU or Florida, you kind of got to look at the ADs and the presidents. Right? Yep. So if there was a rumor on the net that he and his ex-wife have recounseled and were spotted in Gainesville. That's interesting. Yeah, Louisiana fans can be extremely, extremely wild. We know that. No doubt about that. I'm trying to see here. Breaking news. Yes. All right, we'll move on from that. Lane Kiffin, where's he going? I guess we could all have our opinions. We know that there's planes took off for the family to be, go look around at LSU and Florida. If Gainesville is not a beach access area, you're going to have to drive to the beach either way. So I don't know how that's really a big seller if he likes, beach life. And that LSU job is just something else. Les Miles, took over and did a good job, after Saban left, and, won a lot of football games there, did well in recruiting, had a good staff. You really have to have somebody on the staff that's really one of them. It's just a different culture, that, historic French quarters and that kind of stuff, it's just kind of a different monster down there. It just is. Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt. Boca Raton is way much nicer. Way, way much nicer. Here's something else in the news. Let's see if I can pull it up on there. Oh, I thought I had this one. It talks about an Alabama coach. An Alabama coach in rumors. It says there's no current news officially of an announcement. Kane Womack. This is something that we heard earlier. These are something we heard earlier. I had read that Kane Womack, defensive coach at Alabama, has been contacted about the job at Oklahoma State. Where do you see that? Is that something you may think may fit him, or I wonder if he'd be interested in being head coach? Moving out west and taking over a team that is going to need a lot of fixing. Or is he, just kind of satisfied, being the DC right now in Alabama, and kind of feels like they're maybe in the middle of something, and maybe he takes a little bit of pride, being at Alabama. I don't know. Those are just rumors. Now, also, in other rumors, on a Penn State message board, which means nothing, and if you look it up, you're not going to get much out of it, that DeBoer had been in talk on these message boards about DeBoer going to Penn State. That they reached out to his agent. I mean, it's the board don't pick up the phone and call, hey, so tell me about this job up there where you guys, and you don't just call the AD. And I guess you could, but that's just not how this works. You have agents. We're talking about big millions of dollars of deals here. So supposedly, their AD, Penn State, reached out to the agent of DeBoer, and the agent then probably shot a message to DeBoer and said, AD at Penn State called. Just thought we'd let you know. We know you're in the middle of something, and not saying you're looking for a job, but they would like to talk to you. How do we feel about DeBoer if he was to take a Penn State job? Well, it's his business. He can do what he wants to. Honestly, if I'm just being real, if I'm just being 100, that job would fit him. It seems like it would just be perfect for him. His demeanor, his style, his style of play. But if you think about how Franklin got fired, and we'll talk about him going to VTech and what he looks like maybe, going into the ACC. You would be at a school that's still expecting to win, obviously, because they fired Franklin for having a few bad weeks. This man been there 15 years. Now, they were loyal to him to an extent. They're just sick of Ohio State just winning it. Then you got Oregon comes into the conference. They're new to the conference, and you're just like, come on, man. These guys are new kids on the block, and you're just like Oklahoma beating Bama. Like, they beat you in the Big 12 several times. Now they come to the conference, and you still can't beat them. Saban couldn't beat them. The new coach, he couldn't beat them. What's up with that? Well, that's something I've pondered on, Zach. I don't know. Oklahoma State, bro, they have got mad money out there. I'm pretty sure that T. Boone Pickens is connected to Oklahoma State. I'm pretty sure. Billions of dollars. So yeah, and this don't mean anything. I'm just thinking out loud. You know, what if Kiffin is waiting? If I don't know see who is Kalen DeBoer's agent? Is it Jimmy? Is it Sexton, the same guy that's Kiffin's agent? Because if that's so, when he called Kiffin and they're talking about this Florida and LSU job, and he's come across him like, well, old buddy, yeah, LSU, yeah, I'm that another, in Florida, yeah, that's that another. Oh yeah, they did. Penn State reached out to DeBoer, and Lane's like, oh really? What'd he say? Well, DeBoer didn't say no. Lane is not coming to Auburn. If he comes to the state of Alabama, he's coming to Alabama. So I'm sure anything's possible. Is there a 0% chance that DeBoer doesn't take the job? No, there's always going to be something. And like I said, I just got this information. Well, I know he's dead, but his money's not dead. His firms are still run by his businesses, and his money is funneled through Oklahoma State. So I would suggest that it's highly unlikely that DeBoer takes the Penn State job. I don't doubt that somebody reached out to him. I mean, they could at least call. Like when Nick left, the first person they called, you're going to call Kirby, call his agent. And of course, Kirby said, thanks for the call, but I'm at home, man. I played here. I don't have nothing to prove over at Alabama. Y'all go find somebody good. Go get you one and it'll be great. And I'll still lose to Alabama every year anyway. So there's that. So we'll make the Oklahoma State, DeBoer, Penn State. And I'm telling you from people that I keep up with this every day. I do this daily. And I've challenged some people on Facebook. I would send them a link to come right here and just, I'll put you right up here beside me. Bam. You can come up here in a nice little partner link right there, just like that. And you can come on here and tell your story. Come on here and tell why you think that your team is better or worse, or what's their problem, or because there's just so many people, man, on Facebook that's got something to say about. If you don't agree with them, then that means I'm wrong. And I don't live in that small-minded, smooth brain world. I think it's great if we don't agree on stuff. That gives us something to talk about. So what's next on hand? We're still talking about coaching. Yeah, let's look at Franklin. Then we'll talk about Auburn's decision they're going to be starting Jackson Arnold. They didn't say that, but that he's going to start the game Saturday versus Mercer, and Deuce Knight to come in and play too. They're not going to play Ashton. They don't want to use his red shirt, and I'm going to tell you why I think that's not a good idea to me. So let's look at Virginia Tech. What is Coach Franklin dealing with over here? Well, VTech is 3-7 overall, 2-4 in the conference, and you're going to deal with the likelihood of your conference and games you're going to play. They they usually been open the year up with South Carolina, which they lost 24-11. Not a good showing. They're down past the middle of the pack, right under Clemson and Cal. Talking about Virginia Tech and Coach Franklin. What's he going to look like over there? What? I think he's a good coach. I think he's going to do good over there. You're going to compete with Georgia Tech, Virginia, Pitt, SMU, Miami, Duke, Louisville, Wake, Clemson, Cal, North Carolina State, North Carolina, Stanford, Florida State, Syracuse, and Boston College. Sounds like a bunch of nobodies. The elite players in this conference, Florida State's had a good recruiting class. I'm working from the bottom up here. Florida State's had a good recruiting class. We thought Syracuse was going to be better. I think their quarterback, he got hurt. Something bad happened. Dabo's at Clemson. As long as he's there, I know they're 5-5 right now. They're struggling to try to make a bowl game. I don't think it's going to stay that way long. I think he put all his money in with his quarterback Klubnik this year, and it just did not work out. He looks like Hugh Freeze in year 2 at Auburn, just keeping the quarterback. It's going to be great, and it just failed miserably. Louisville's up there, 7-3. These are some of your better teams. Of course, Miami. SMU, Pitt. I think Virginia is just been kind of I don't see them being like sustainable to be a top team in the ACC. So, what do y'all think about Franklin over there in the old ACC? Pretty good coach. I think he'll be good. Everything you hear is he's a really nice guy. He really stands for values and family first kind of guy. Spent a lot of time at Penn State. We've seen what he did at Vanderbilt, little with nothing. He won, didn't he win 10 games at Vanderbilt? That's when they scooped him up at Penn State. Year 1, you probably look at the schedule for, let's just look at it, 2026. 26, VTech football. I don't know if they got their full schedule out, but they may have most of it. Here we go. Virginia Tech. Coach James Franklin getting fired at Penn State for not beating top 5 teams. So good luck to the next guy that goes up there. I mean, good gracious, man. They're going to open with VMI at home at Blacksburg. They're going to stay at home in Blacksburg and play at Old Dominion. They're going to travel to Maryland week 3. They're going to come home and play James Madison, play then Virginia. Looks like Thanksgiving weekend. There's some dates kind of not set, but these are just teams. Looks pretty good, man. VMI, Old Dominion, Maryland, James Madison, Virginia, Boston College. They're going to go to Cal next year. Coach Franklin will be out there. They'll play at Clemson. They're going to be at Miami. They'll host Georgia Tech and North Carolina State and Pitt. Some of those teams are not going to be quite as prominent next year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think he goes bowling his first year. I don't know. What do y'all think? I think you could. I mean, just looking at the schedule, looks like Frank could probably win 6 his first year. Right? Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, you beat Miami and some of those other Florida, of course, Florida State, but I didn't see them on their schedule. Was Florida State on there? And no. Georgia Tech, Pitt, Clemson. And teams like Virginia and James Madison, I don't see them hanging around like being good year in, year out. Clemson, Miami, Georgia Tech, dude. I think that's kind of about the stint of it. So if he loses to those 3, that'd put him winning 9. I mean, if he just loses to the big schools. again, man, it's just getting in the. I don't know these ads, like, they fired him, and that's what I was talking about with Lane a while ago. You don't have to be 1-2 no more. You don't have to be in, this BCS. That stuff's over. Just win 9, 10 games. Go to your conference title game. Even if you lose it, but you wind up winning. If you go 9-3 at worst and he loses an ACC conference game, they'll go to the playoffs. Just get in the playoffs. I'm telling you, most fan bases, except for probably Alabama, they want to win it every year, and it's just silly. But just get in the playoffs. I think, could Franklin get them there year one? I don't know, man. They had some quarterback stuff and where they're recruiting at right now. He's a good recruiter, man. I think Franklin can sell the school to, well, he's got a quarterback. The one of the top quarterbacks, y'all can find it over there. I just seen that earlier. So one of the top quarterbacks that was going to Penn State, he tweeted that thanks to, VTech coach Franklin for extending an offer, that he's excited to come play at Virginia Tech. He's playing for him, not the school. That's very interesting. Yeah, 4 or 6 losses. That's probably, heck, man. I mean, if he wins 6 or, Jeff, we're saying he wins 6 or 8 games. If he goes 6-6, year one. But man, that place is lit, and my goodness, man, their atmosphere and how they come out and how this place rocks, bro. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Who wouldn't want to coach? I mean, Metallica give them rights to play their song. They say that this place, supposedly, I've heard this on news people and people that's, been to the games. I mean, look at that. It's a beautiful looking campus. The skyline of Virginia's is a great state, man. I mean, they got it's a pretty place. This stadium, I mean, look at this. They say when they get to rocking that music, that the place is like literally moving. You can literally feel the place move. I mean, check it out. This is what Coach Franklin's going to get to do every other Saturday. I mean, heck, far, man. I mean, Penn State is great. I mean, I guess, Happy Valley and the Nittany Lions and the prestige of Joe Paul up there. But there was a time that when, Virginia Tech, I remember Michael Vick playing there. I know it, you older people, y'all remember, they had some good football teams, man. And if he brings in the right coordinators and the right people, we're talking about Coach Franklin here. This is his new spot, man. This is his place. He's took the job. What a great atmosphere. What a great place to go play. I would love to go there and experience that. Who wouldn't want to experience that? You kidding me? This place is packed. Amazing. Look at that, bro. It's amazing. That's a great job to have. Well, they play Dixieland tonight. a lot now. But yes, yeah, that's a good job, man. I would love to go there and experience that place. That would be freaking awesome. It's Penn State is what it. I don't know. I'm just not a big Penn State fan. I mean, Joe Paul's dead. All that stuff's been gone so long, and he's did okay there. They've been through. He's their third. He was their third coach. Who was it? After Joe retired, when O'Brien the ball, he took over for a little while. I think Franklin took over after him. I mean, we're talking about like James was the second coach after Joe Paterno. Yeah, Bill O'Brien. So I think he could be successful there. I do. I think he could be successful there at Virginia Tech. We looked at their schedule. Let's see here now. News report coming out here that AO.com that Deuce Knight has teammates feeling more like a fan ahead of the Mercer game. AO.com reports that they're going to see a very talented young quarterback in Deuce Knight, which stride home from over in South Mississippi. He has one of the craziest arms that I've ever seen. He just makes some crazy throws out here. It's some stuff that you don't see that often, Blockton said Tuesday after practice at Auburn. Who will start for the Auburn Tigers? And, well, where the heck did that go? What happened there? So, what are y'all feeling about Auburn coming up for the weekend? Do you think it really matters for who's going to start? Is it really going to be? Oh, crap's sake! Think it's really going to be a big deal? Who will start for quarterback against Mercer? At Tuesday's practice earlier today, AO.com had said that Deuce was going to play and Jackson was going to play. So he didn't really say who starts, and I'm sure he kind of does it on purpose. I don't really know why you would want to do that against Mercer. They are a good football team, and I don't know if they play all their people too, guys. I'm telling you, this is what I'm hearing. I won't be shocked, Zach. I'm telling you, they're going to start him. They're going to start Jackson, and they're going to play Deuce. Jackson's going to start, and then Deuce will come in and play a little bit later. Now, earlier today, I stated yesterday from they're just weekend watchers, man. A weekend watching Auburn fan. They watch 3 hours of football a week. That's just watch their team. Whereas I do this every day. Talk to people every day, do different podcasts every day, listen to news, read news. I suggested that I like the idea that I think Ashton should play, but they don't want to because it's going to hurt his red shirt opportunities. I said, who cares about his red shirt opportunities? I'm telling you that it shouldn't matter because, why? Well, because he's going to come back. You got a new coach. You're not even going to, how do you even know who the coach is even going to be in there next year? There's no way. What does it matter? What's the big deal for him to come in, and if he does lose his red shirt, so what? I think Ashton, for me, if I'm the coach, I want Ashton to keep playing because I think he needs to keep up the reps with the number ones like he does at practice. But you can't simulate games. You can't simulate a game. And I don't care if it's Mercer. I know Auburn should beat them 36-0. But that's, so I was, considered by some of these, for God's sake, by some smooth brain micro thinkers they're just Auburn fans. They're not fans of any other team. They don't watch anything else. They don't keep up with any sports. They work for a living and take care of their family, which is great. And that's what most people do. I do this and work, but I don't really have a family to take care of because mine's grown. So I do this as a side hustle and a hobby with my free time. I'm telling you that also, people, if you've ever heard of a place called The Next Round, they also stated this morning that they like the idea. One of them said the same thing I did. I like Ashton playing Saturday because it keeps him in a rhythm of playing. Well, you're going to spoil his red shirt. That's just what we thought. Somebody that's an Alabama fan would just, they don't really know. They're not thinking about, I'm not everybody's a fan of somebody, but I'm talking about sports talk. I'm not just, nobody hates no other school. That's just silly jargon by small-minded people that are fans of failure programs, and then they get called out on their take that I don't agree with, and their only comeback is you're a hater, or then they revert to something personal like, well, your profile picture looks silly. Look at it. It's an AI picture. Yeah, it was meant to be funny. I did it as a joke. Yeah, it's funny. I like to be funny and have a good time. That's what it's about. So when you're losing this conversation, there's not really a win or lose. It's just an opinion. I like Ashton Daniels to start. I'd like to see him keep some rhythm and get ready to go play Alabama, which will be the toughest defense he's ever saw in his career. He's going to see things that he's never seen on the foot, on the field. And I don't think Nix or Durkin are doing him any favors by knocking him out of rhythm and not playing football Saturday. They're going to play the scrubs because they don't want to burn his red shirt. What does his red shirt matter? You don't even have a coach. So what if he burns his red? I'm okay. Well, he don't want to play because he wants to come back and play next year, and he's going to lose his, a year edge. Well, look, you're here at Auburn right now. We're trying to win football games, and I'm trying to keep you in rhythm to go play the best team you've ever played against. Next Saturday. I'm being a little selfish. Sorry for trying to win a game so we can go to a freaking bowl game after a disaster of a season. Last year, we didn't even go to a bowl game. We won 5 games. Auburn didn't even enjoy a bowl game. These seniors deserve to go to a bowl game at Auburn. Why don't they? Dude, their career at Auburn has been terrible. They've won like 11. They've won like 17 games. Oh, God. Imagine winning 17, 18 games. Your career at Auburn, that's not right. Those players deserve to at least go out on a bowl game. And the best way to do that, you're going to have to beat Alabama to win 6 games. I want all possibilities, 100% of where I want my team to be. Every option that is out there is going to be taken. Every imaginable that I have, every piece of everything that I can come up with, if I'm Auburn, I'm using everything to try to win. It would be great for Durkin, too, for a resume to beat Alabama. Are you kidding me? That would be right on top of the list for his resume. They would probably hire him on the spot because that is their Super Bowl. That's the only game on their schedule that they really care about. They don't play faceless opponents and how they play up the road. This is a smaller place. Football program is not as successful. They pride themselves in beating Big Brother up the road, and that's fine. But I think playing Ashton Saturday keeps him in a rhythm of playing and gives him a better chance to beat Bama, not him standing over there on the sidelines calling in plays. And to back me up, look up the next round. Jim Dunaway has been doing sports since I was in high school. He thinks so too. He said, I know they'd lose his red shirt, but I mean, none of these people are probably even going to be there next year. There's a high possibility that none of them's there. And these fans are dreaming about we're going to keep Durkin and get a new head coach. That's not going to happen. There ain't no new head coach going to keep the DC. Forget about that. That is highly unlikely. I've never heard of that. Well, they're going to hire Durkin. And how was he as a head coach before? Terrible. Yeah, some people just ain't good head coaches. But for them to beat Alabama and send their seniors, I'm a player guy. You tell by how I'm passionate and what I'm saying. I don't think it's fair for Auburn seniors to go out and not play in a bowl game. And you're doing it just because you want to hold the red shirt for the guy, Ashton Daniels. Who is he? He's just a mercenary you hired to come from Stanford. The kid played over at Buford, Georgia. I want all likelihoods of everything that I have to beat Alabama. I want to take the chance, and whatever the chance it is I need to take, I'm taking it. And as for playing that quarterback to keep him in rhythm with the starters, I'm doing it. Red shirt, who cares? Well, he may not get to play. He could opt out of the game. Well, that'd be on him. I tell him kick rocks because you're here. You're wearing that freaking orange and blue. You're strapped up and laced up. And when the freaking bird flies around the field and we kick the ball off Bama, you're taking the field. And if he said he wouldn't, he wouldn't work. He wouldn't go nowhere else. I'd make sure of that. I'm opting out. I'm not going to lose my red shirt. So anybody that disagrees, go right here in the comments. I'll send you a little comma. Right there. I'll send you a link. And you can come right up here on this side of the screen and tell me why he should not play Saturday. And it ain't like your opinion is wrong because mine ain't neither. And people that have done this for a long time agree with me because my take on this happened last night. Theirs happened this morning. And also look up the War Report. Guy I chatted with on Twitter before, Mike G. War Room. This guy is Mr. Auburn football. He is at the conference. You hear when he asks Mike, go ahead. He's the guy that is in their report room. He also said, I'd kind of like to start Ashton Saturday and let him play some, man, to play with the starters a little more. Practice time ain't a game. I want him to be ready to see Bama in 2 weeks. Yeah, why would he? Yes, I'm going to stay and just be the DC, and I'm going to just let the new head coach take right over after I've been here and been interim head coach, and I'm going to work for the new head coach. That ain't never happened, y'all. People fans, golly, when you just watch 3 hours of football a week, those are the type of things that you come up with. Yeah. I don't care if he loses his red shirt. That's not my problem. That's not my problem at all. I'm trying to prepare my team to beat Alabama. And that's my 2 cents worth. Is it wrong? No. Is it right? Nope. But you can't tell somebody they're stupid just because they don't agree with you. That is called, it starts with a F and ends with a ism. The thing that libtards call everybody else, what they're trying to stop. Freedom of speech. If you don't agree with me, and you just get smoked. And that's so stupid. So, Oklahoma and Missouri. Oklahoma and Missouri. Oklahoma favored by 7.5. Is there any way that Missouri pulls this off? Missouri's lost to Bama 27-24. Lost to Vandy 17-10. Lost to A&M 38-17. Beat Mississippi State 49-27. At Oklahoma and then at Arkansas. Drake is another one. His name has been moved around for the Auburn job. I do. I understand too. You're right, Jeff. He wants to come back and play next year because he's not a. From what we've seen, he's not Jackson Dart. We need to change the red shirt rule. They still got rules. That rule. I'm pretty sure, Jeff, that rule, red shirt, and you can tell me you're old enough. That rule started, I think, in the early 70s when Marshall crashed the plane and they had to let the freshmen play. So they went up fixing that red shirt thing. I think this has been a rule for 45 or 50 years. Come on, man. See, that's the NCAA. Yeah, he made a commitment to Auburn. What if all the QBs have broke legs? Is Ashton going to let the punter play QB like Wisconsin? Alabama needs Missouri to win against Arkansas later to help our SEC championship hopes. It won't matter against Oklahoma because we never played both teams. Yeah, Missouri's still playing with their third-string quarterback. That's what knocks it out for me. I want to think there's a chance. I mean, I guess there's always some kind of chance, but there's just not. And with rumors swirling around about him too. Coach Drinkowitz taking the job at Auburn. Trying to look up his. Eli Drinkwitz's overall head coaching record of 56-28, which is .667 win percentage, which is good. Through 24 season with a 45-27 record at Missouri, 2020 to present, and a 12-1 record at Appalachian State in 2019. His bowl record is 2-2. Overall, 56-28. He's 44-27, which he's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games this year. So 50, he's like, let's see, 52 and 30. He's 52 and 30, something like that, as of now. At Missouri. Is he more of a fit for Auburn? Is Auburn a good job to me? No. I don't think their fans are. They're delusional in the fact that they think that they're going to win it every year because they're trying to keep up with the big brother up the road. You know, at the end of the block, there's this huge 3-story house with a pearl inlay swimming pool, and they drive Bugattis and Rolls Royces. And you live down the road in a nice 2-story house, and you drive a Yukon, and you lease a BMW. Maybe it's a pretty nice place. I mean, the yard's nice, and you drive decent cars, but it's not the 3-story with a full basement driving Bugattis and Bentleys. And I think Auburn needs a coach that can get out of thinking they have to have Bugattis and Bentleys in the driveway like Bama to mean that they're successful. That it's a hard shadow to live in, and it's been that way for 200 years. I mean, Auburn didn't even play really their first bowl win. They were not. Maybe they had just become Auburn. Maybe they were still Men's Methodist College. It was the Bourbon Bowl in the early 50s. And Bama was playing in, undefeated seasons and winning Rose Bowls in the 19, yes, it's a good job, but you have to know where you are and stop trying to compare. Just be Auburn, man. It's a good spot. It's nice country down there. I don't care for the stadium, but I don't really care for Bryant Denny neither. I just don't. Hang on. But Zach is right. Is it a good job? I guess, but it's a hard job. You're right in the middle of probably the 2 best teams in the SEC, and they're on your schedule every year, and you got to recruit against them. It's the hardest job. It may be one of the toughest jobs in the nation. It just is. Well, it's always been that, Jeff. It's always will be, and I think it should not be that. It should be, can we be better every Saturday that we go out there on the field? It don't matter who you're playing. You're supposed to be playing yourself to challenge yourself every game to get better every play, every quarter, every half. You challenge your teammate and you play for each other. And if you play to succeed and play to excellence and play with pride and passion and toughness and dedication, it don't matter who you're playing. And that's been a problem there for a long time. And they got a generational player in Cam, and they won a national championship. They did get to go play for another one a couple of years later and played till the end of the game. Benjamin Russell catches, one of freaky receiver catches one in the back of the end zone to beat them. Florida State did. So, Drinkowitz, is that a job that would he be interested in coming to Auburn? Everybody in the coaching world knows about the boosters, and John Cohen backed out on the answer, and he said there's not other powers that be that control whatever. And because somebody asked him, and he just he can't answer the question. The boosters have a huge part in what goes on there, and it's just always been that way. It's backroom deals with card play and cigar smoke type stuff, good old boy country stuff, and the wrong people are calling the shots and making the hires. Obviously, whoever's doing it has not done a good job, because they done had 3 coaches in the past, 5 or 6 years or so now. They had Gus for a while, and Harsin come a couple of years, and then he was terrible. And Free's record was worse than his. They were getting worse. So and they had another AD then. They had a different AD when Tommy was there. They're firing their coach, looking to keep up with a guy up the road that drives Bugattis and Lamborghinis. You've got to find a coach that wants to build Auburn's identity and stop trying to be the crimson and white up the road. It don't matter who you're playing. You play your best with toughness and dedication to each other, and you put in the work and the time, and have a good recruiting coach that can go out and get guys and get them in high school and build them and develop them. Auburn's never had somebody can develop a quarterback. That's a huge problem. And hit the portal a little bit, fill in some guys you need here or there. Obviously, Freeze failed at that because that X, or left tackle, gets 2 flags like every game. So is this a job that's attractive, to Drink? He knows what it's about. Let's see. Let me find out for sure. Let's see. Eli Drinkowitz was quality control assistant at Auburn in 2010, the year they won the championship. So he has a ring at Auburn. I knew he was there. I wasn't sure what his role was. Record includes, Auburn quality control too. He was there for a year. So he worked for Gene Chisnick. Yeah, it feels that way. He led his OCs and stuff, because when you have success, you're going to lose those guys. You're going to lose those guys when you have success like that. We've seen Alabama's coach staff just get ridiculed and run through. There was a time there for Saban's last 5 years, man. You couldn't. They was hiring the janitors out of the school just to hope that Nick Saban breathed on them when they walked by, and maybe you could breathe on us, and that we could have some luck here at our college. So that's some of the job searches, and some of the names out there. John Sumlin at Tulane, they're gonna, right now they're playing good football, and where he's at with his team, I imagine he probably wants to try to focus on that, to focus on his team and not think about maybe take another job? Is he, his wife's an Auburn graduate. They lost to Ole Miss 45-10 back earlier in the year, and then they lost to University of Texas San Antonio. How do you lose that game? What in the Sam world? 48-26. How did Tulane lose? Did I watch that game? I think I did. I think I fell asleep and I didn't get to watch all of it. Tulane's right behind Navy. They're tied. They're 5-1 in conference. Navy 6-1 in conference. So, and their schedule, they still have. I think they got 2 more games. Yep, they got Temple and that Colquitt or whatever. So they should finish out the year with 2 more wins. They'll be 10-2. So where's he at? Is he thinking about leaving that job? I mean, Navy lost to North Texas and Notre Dame. They got Memphis and Army. And I don't. Doesn't Army spoil Navy season? Which Army's lost some games. They're 5-4. I'm always going to cheer Army over Navy every time. So what we're talking about here is Sumlin at Tulane. The rest of his schedule. We're talking about the Auburn job, being open. What about LSU? I've kind of heard from other people that LSU would be way, way against hiring him at LSU. Big time against that. I guess because right, yep. Right, yep. They still win-loss, so I mean they lose that game. That could that could take them out here, but the governor Ellis, Louisiana is going to. I guess so, man. Somebody is. So does Drinkwitz offered? Is he looking for the job at Auburn? Sumlin, would he be a guy come from Troy? He seemed to be a winner. I mean, he's won a lot of football games. So where's he at? What's he got going on? Let's see here. Yeah, the bracket should be. I think is it coming on at 7:30 or y'all tell me. Yeah, we'll pull up here some of the new bracket. Yeah, so we're talking about coach at Tulane. I mean, Josh Pate says that this is going to be the craziest coaching carousel that we've ever seen. We're going to see guys leaving one school, going to another school. Like I said, Penn State Message Board had DeBoer at Penn State. We heard rumors today that Matt Womack's agent had been contacted from Oklahoma State. I don't think somebody said something about had mentioned in the chat the other day, Sumlin to Florida. Yeah, maybe Mike Tiger could coach him a little bit better. Hayes out for the remainder of the regular season. Well, they ain't but 2 games left. I don't think Florida is really interested in probably hiring another smaller college guy as head coach. So someone would probably be out for Florida. If they're going to hire anybody, bro, they're locked in to get. I've heard. I heard today that Kiffin was interested maybe in NFL job. I mean, there's just so much stuff going on right now. His name is big right now. CFB. Let's see, is it showing anywhere? Trying to get a time. What time does the bracket show come on? What time is it on? Let's see. Yeah, it's old. What time does it come on? Anybody got a time? It's supposed to be up to 18th at I thought it'd come on at 7:30. Is that right, guys? 7:30. Oh, here we go. Let me just screenshot that, and I can have all the times and dates. Is anybody thinking about Thanksgiving and eating and stuff? And Christmas is going to be around the corner. All you guys and girls that's got kids, y'all buying them Roll Tide and stuff and Auburn, Georgia stuff. Eastern time. Yep, 7:30. So it should be gone in just a few minutes. Let's see here. Any other games we got? Well, we got about 5 minutes. I heard some people was watching Arkansas and Texas and Kentucky Vanderbilt game. Those are two good SEC games. Pitt and Georgia Tech. And we definitely talked about this. Tennessee and Florida. This game has just been, over the years, a huge game, big-time rival. Yep, 6:30 ABC. Tennessee, 65% chance to win this. Joey Aguilar's passing at 3,000 yards, guys. Both their tailbacks have rushed for about 800, but the computer likes Kentucky about 60% on this game. And Tennessee, conference-wise, they're sitting down about 9. Florida's sitting at 12. Tennessee's 3-3 in the conference. Florida's 2-5. Florida's 3-7. Oof. That game being at Florida, you just never know what might happen. And the late game, it is 2 ranked games. It's the 7 o'clock game on Fox. BYU is going to be at Cincinnati. But I think right here in the middle, both 2:30 games, Texas host Arkansas and Vanderbilt host Kentucky. Kentucky 5-5, Vandy 8-2. Is there any way Kentucky, their little quarterback, the Bole kid, is there any way he gets things done? I mean, he's 13 touchdowns, 8 picks. I like that tailback there, Seth McGowan. Have y'all seen him play at Kentucky? I think he's a good tailback. He's from Mesquite, Texas. He's a senior. He's got 700 yards rushing, man. 12 touchdowns. And their second guy's the Dowdell kid. Yeah, it'll be better for Alabama if Tennessee, for sure, wins that game. It'll keep Bama's. Yeah, kid's not bad. It'll make Bama's record look better. It don't matter really. If Bama loses to Auburn next week, and we can talk about the Iron Bowl if you want to. Next week's Iron Bowl. Let's see here. I'm thinking I may be sticking with my guns, Zach. I just if you do the thing that I always like to do, I take the quarterbacks. Take quarterback Auburn, quarterback Alabama. Definitely ties better than Ashton. Receiving core overall, just overall, I like Bama's receiving core from Brooks, Horton, Williams, and Jeremy Bernard. I like them. Singleton is your guy at Auburn. Kim showed up in a few games, and the Simmons kid, Malcolm, I would have to look up how many yards he even has. I don't know. I've seen him make a few catches. I think Cobb run the ball. He's ran the ball good this year. Not so much when it counted like down in the red zone and that type stuff. So, I mean, yardage wise, he's got more yards than any of the Bama backs. So you'd have to kind of lean that way, right? Okay. Offensive line, we're just trying to get an idea of who you like and why do you like this team. Offensive line wise, Auburn's give up more sacks, yes, and I've watched them both play. I've watched Auburn play, I guess 3-4 games, probably. Yeah, at least 4. Man, their offensive line leaks bad. But what I like with Nix, he has found a way to shorten the game up. And I know their fans are like, dude, throw it to Cam up the sideline. Throw a bomb to Cam. If he runs a 4.5 40, it means it takes him 4 seconds to run 40 yards. So it's going to take him about 5-6 seconds to run about 50. Do you realize how long you're asking the guy to stand there in pocket and hold the ball with that line? That's probably not a good chance of that happening. Some of the reason you don't see Ty throwing big passes. One, I don't think that's his game. It's just he don't throw a good deep ball. He's better at the short and middle stuff. So wide receiver core, I would go Bama for sure. Offensive line, Bama. Defensive line, that could. I mean, like you three down front guys. I think Keenan is a little bigger disruptor for their three linemen up front than Auburn's three up front. Inside linebacker wise, Justin Jefferson, big tackler on the team. And then your bandit spots and your pass rushers like Pierre and Russo. I think they're ahead of Auburn in that spot. Pass rush and sack wise, Atkins, they're like bandit style linebacker. He's a dude. He's got a lot of tackles this year. DB wise, I don't like Pleasant at all at Auburn. He is a little lazy freaking loser. And I don't mean loser like personally. Just in the game that he tries to play. He gets beat a lot and he grabs people. He gets at least 2 PIs a game. And I see him, he holds about every play. If you watch him, if somebody gets by him, he's holding them, which I mean, he ain't going to get burnt. He ain't going to give up 6, but what up? 25 chances for Iron Bowl, and I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. I guess trying to talk myself into why I picked Auburn, and I just don't. Yeah, I mean, linemen, defensive line wise, there's some marks here and there. DBs, I like Bama a little bit better. Linebacker wise, Russo and Pierre and them are great at Bama, but hey, Atkins and them, it's been great. I'm not going to say they're the guy they talked about all summer. Who was it? Kendrick Falk. He is a no-show. He is not a first-round pick. He don't obviously like the pressure, and I don't want to hear they don't run at him because I've seen them run right at him and him get blocked, or he runs himself out of the play. So I'm done with that. Quarterback-wise, I think Ty's better than Ashton, but I just don't see a path where Bama can block Auburn all day long. They're just not going to run the football, and they've played enough games now to where somebody has figured out a plan to be able to stop Ty. Because there's no play action, because there's no run game to play action off of. Some people kind of forget about the tight end, don't cover him. That's a plus for Bama. I think they're tight. So I just have a hard time picking Bama to win the Iron Bowl. I just don't see. I just can't. I can't talk myself into it. I just how they're playing. I think it'll be like a walk-off field goal kind of game, probably like Auburn kicks 2 late field goals to make it 27-21. Bama has a chance maybe to go down and win 28-27. And same thing we've seen for 5 weeks. What's to make me think anything different is going to happen? Ty Simpson getting hit and fumbling the ball. He's done it for a month straight. So why wouldn't he in this game? Because their defense gets after it. It's not like, it's not like they're playing any easier team. So I just have a hard time with that one.
I'm just baffled. I just don't understand how Alabama is just not able to run the ball.
I can't hear you good.
Oh, you can't hear me?
There you go.
You got me now?
Yeah.
I just don't understand how Alabama can't run the ball. Or to me, they don't even try sometimes.
Well, yeah. Well, it's I think it's a big scheme. It's a bad process. I think it's some personnel issue. I think if you see how they line up, to play 12 personnel where you're playing like 2 tight ends, it's just not. And I think here's what Bama fans, I said this last year. It's just not their style. You're not going to see Grubb and DeBoer just all of a sudden just go, you know what? I'll tell you what, buddy, old Grubb.
They didn't do that at Washington either. They didn't run it like they did. Right now is what you've seen at Washington, which was
we're just going. How about we just run the ball Saturday against Auburn? You know what? That's a great. God damn! Why didn't I think of that shit? Why didn't we just run the ball all the time? Oh, that's what we'll do. God dang, you're a genius, Kalen. I'm glad you're the head coach. Why didn't you remind me to run the ball? Crap, that's what it is. No, that's not. They did have a 1,000-yard rusher, but supposedly by your film guy, your big Georgia dog guy over there in around Hotlanta, you can please look him up, and find him. The film study, little younger guy, not much older than you probably, wears glasses. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
he covers high school stuff over there a little bit. He just says in the style of how DeBoer and them run the ball, they play with more of a pin-pull style offensive line, whereas Saban's guys that he recruited play bulldozer, push-around style of football. But Robert Gillespie is the running back coach at Bama, and Bama's run game's been shit since about 21. Guess what year they hired him? 21. I'm going to start. What bothers me and kind of has peed me off about it is the board won't hold people. I'm a big hold people responsible kind of guy. There's consequences for actions. I raised my son that way, and that's the kind of man he is now. And he's in law enforcement, and there's consequences for actions. There just is. I mean, there's good consequences for good actions, right? Well, for bad consequences, you got to fire some of these people. Just go to your line coach, say, hey, man, it's not a big deal. Why? I mean, it's like you're killing him. Just say, hey, we're going to part ways. When the end of the year gets here, we're already got a party out looking for a new offense line and running back coach. Find somebody. Stop just saying, well, we're just bad at it. Then freaking fix it. Just fix it. But I don't have much faith. And I picked Auburn to win the Iron Bowl back in the summer because of politics.
You did. I remember you picking them.
It's just not good for the state, man, to have Bama beating them like, 5, 6 years in a row. It's just money, tourism. College football is a thriving part of this state. And Bama just wailing the shit out of little brother down there on the plains every year for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's just not good for football. It's just not. I don't. And it'd be a good time to do it. I said last Sunday, if Bama loses to Oklahoma, I will not be surprised at all because it'll make a big mess and it'll allow more SEC teams to get. I asked Dean, if you watch Sunday, I said, are you a tinfoil hat guy? I said, is there a possibility that this game is just going to go this way? Bama's going to come out and look bad. Oklahoma wins the game because it does one thing. It adds money to the pot. And it makes for TV ratings. So you got another team on the conference to watch. So is the show, have they done kicked off the top T5?
No, they haven't kicked it off. Well, they're about to start, but there was a basketball game they're waiting on to finish. So it just finished.
Okay.
So we hadn't missed a thing.
Okay.
Reese Davis is literally standing on the court while some other basketball team is warming up.
Ah, shoot.
Where do you talk about Alabama? Where do you expect Alabama to be tonight?
7.
So you think they'll be above, say, the Oregon line in that area? I've asked people all day, and I've heard 7, 8, 9. I've heard any of those three.
I would say they would be above Notre Dame and Oklahoma. I know they just lost Oklahoma, but either we're doing this by,
if I had to guess, I'm going to say wherever they are, it's going to be behind Oklahoma.
If they're going to do like strength of schedule, and we're going to quit poo-pooing and patty caking, because like we do remember Miami beat Notre Dame, right?
Yeah. Well, they don't, obviously.
Yeah. So that, we either got, and I know Bama lost to Florida State, a bad Florida State.
See, this is one thing that people have talked about before when you got a committee like this. The comment you just made, the Miami thing. Last week they come out and they say the reason why the Notre Dame was ranked above is because after those losses, they've looked good. They've dominated people, blah, 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 blah. Well, you can't give me one reason why one team is ahead of another and then go to this next group of teams and tell me it's because of a different reason. That's so difficult for me to understand. To me, I don't mind the 12-team playoff, but I didn't have a problem with the way the BCS selected what it should be. Let the computer do it, and then there'll be no question about it. No human element to screw it up.
Yeah, why is there ADs on the? They're going to be biased towards their conference.
Well,
we seen what happened last year. You had old dude from wasn't he the Penn State AD, the main guy that would come on and talk, after the show. I think.
Oh, let's see here. Yeah, like you said, there's going to be bias just because, and sometimes it ain't even intentional.
No, yeah. I'm all in fairness, and I know people. Well, it's not. It's just some smooth brain people out there. There's a lot of micro, and they're usually Auburn fans. Sorry, it's not all Auburn fans. There's just about 5 of them out there that like to just think small brain instead of big brain ideas. That I can't have an opinion because I just happen to be a fan of a team, and I know if I'm trying to make people happy with my opinions, which I'm not trying to do. If I want to make people happy, I'd sell ice cream. Like last year, I was not a component for Bama. I was one of the guys saying, no, they don't deserve it. You lost Oklahoma. You look terrible. I didn't like the idea of I've liked Arizona State and SMU. I'm just so sick of Indiana. They don't play any. It goes against the whole idea of the game in general. So it says you can just schedule one ranked team and lose that game, and you're in. It just shows a bad precedent for like. Just why don't everybody just go do that?
Yeah,
I know they can't help that their conferences, like their bottom guys like Maryland and Rutgers, are not like the bottom teams like Florida or South Carolina. I think Florida and South Carolina would beat Rutgers and Maryland.
I totally agree with you.
I think Massey would favor both those teams by probably a touchdown at a neutral site. So that's what bothers me. It wasn't that Bama didn't make it. I didn't think they deserved. They shouldn't have. You shouldn't have lost to Oklahoma. Shut up, move on, get over it. Don't lose that game. How about that?
Check this out. I seen a stat earlier. It said Georgia has won more games against ranked teams than Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon combined.
Yeah. Where is that? Well, dude. I think I put it on Facebook. Hey everybody, while you're over here, make sure you're hitting the thumbs up. And if you're over there on the old Twitterverse, show us a little love over there on the page. Let me see if I can find. Okay. You're okay. You're on. Okay.
Do I need to take mine off?
No. I was just wondering which one you're on.
I'm on the Northwest Georgia football page.
Right, okay. There you are. Oh, crap. Come on back. Make sure you hit the little hearts on there and retweet the video, man. It's real easy to do all this stuff. If you just hit the heart on Twitter and you just hit the old retweet, we would appreciate it, man. We spend a little bit of time doing this stuff and reading and listen to other people and have opinions, and we have a good time doing it. And help us share our page by retweeting stuff and liking it and sharing it on your page and tagging your friends in it and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Yeah. So did you know about Sam, the QB at Arizona State, is being shopped? He's ready to hit the road. He will not be at Arizona State next year. Have you heard that?
I heard that. Yeah.
Not surprising. They may think his quarterback's leaving, Dillingham, whatnot, so that could be a possibility. Now, his counterpart last year's tailback, Skattebo, was in New York because he plays for the Giants. He was with a local comedian from New York up there, and they were at WWE Raw, and they got into it with the Judgment Day, and there's a little pushing and shoving and a little fun stuff. And a lot of Giants fans were a little ticked because he was at a wrestling event. I mean, he's on the injured, he's out. So is that a big problem?
No. I mean, what do you care? You can't play football. I mean, what?
Well, yeah, he went on his Twitter and said, this is what makes me happy. And if you don't like me being at wrestling and that's a problem to you and you don't have nothing nice to say, then just casually unfollow me and move along in your life.
I like it. I don't have anything against
that. Coaching jobs, Franklin hired at VTech. We talked about that for a little while. What is his – we looked at their season next year. You know what, Birds? We've kind of thought that he could probably win 6 or 7 games at least. They don't have a bad schedule next year. I mean, it's like Pitt, Virginia, Clemson. They don't play Florida State. I think they got BC and Miami. They're like Miami, Clemson, and Georgia Tech. That's about it.
I wonder what type of team he's going to have.
I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good dude, and I think he'll be fine there. That area's not a bad spot. You're up on that East Coast, so you're kind of in the middle. You can kind of dig down the coast, and there's a couple of real nice high schools in South Carolina. I know Canyon High School, they're ranked nationally, like always top 10. I've run across them when I'm doing like Mater D games and that type of stuff, or Shamadai Madonna. So there's high schools that area, and you got to build a football team. I still will always believe you got to go get high schools and develop kids. You can use the portal and to fill in some spots, but I think you'll be okay there. They play Cal. They got to go out to California. But a few of their games are home. Like I think they got Pitt at home. Ain't that the backyard brawl? Ain't it Pitt and VTech? Or is that Pitt and crap? I forgot.
I don't remember.
How's that West Virginia and Pitt? It's like the backyard brawl. It's like 100-year-old game. But I think he'll be okay there at VTech. I think he'll win some games.
Yeah, and if he could, if he can get to shoot 8 or 9 wins, they'll be ready to king him.
Yeah, it's Pitt and West Virginia. And West Virginia just also signed like the number 1 lineman in the country today. Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah. Says he wants to come play. And Franklin also took Penn State's number 1 recruit quarterback he's going to stick with his coach and not the team and go to VTech and play with him next year.
There'll probably be more.
Yeah.
And that may be what happens to Levitt. He may follow Dillingham wherever he goes.
Yeah. Batters AD stepped down from the playoff committee, wanted to tap himself out. So there you go. What else was there? You know that you didn't. You remember that Drinkowitz? He was on the staff of the 10 Auburn team. He was. I couldn't remember. I had to type it in. I forgot what his job was. He was like some kind of player development, some small role on that Auburn team. Is there a shot he leaves Mizzou to go to Auburn, or are they interested in him, or they just, or what? Not interested.
I think if he, I don't know. I know there's a couple folks that really do not want to see Drink leave Missouri. My boss is a huge Florida guy, and when he heard Drinkowitz's name, he does not want any part of that at Florida.
Well, here's something else, and big news about Lane. Twitter went out and said that Ole Miss give him an ultimatum. He had to make a decision by the Egg Bowl. Kiffin said today on his weekly briefing that is not true, that the University of Mississippi did not give him an ultimatum. He was asked then if he would be the coach at Ole Miss next year, and he neither denied or confirmed. He just said that he hates talking about that kind of stuff, So he kind of didn't answer. And we do know that there was planes that took his family to LSU to tour, see the town, see the stadium, blah, blah, blah. And last week, supposedly, they went to Gainesville, Florida, too.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It sucks that things like this has to go on during the season. I mean, the guy could make a college football playoff run, and they're supposedly giving him an ultimatum. I just don't think that.
Yeah.
All right, I got a few things coming in now. I'm looking at the TV that's got the stuff going on, and I'm writing it down right here on this little notepad.
He's trying to cause trouble. Don't pay him attention, Aaron. He's one of them ballyhead people. You know how? Yeah, he's trying to be difficult. Man.
All right, so starting at 25, I'll run down through here. You got Arizona State. Tulane is at 24. Houston, Missouri, Illinois, Tennessee at 20. Then you have at 19, you have Virginia, which is one of the SEC teams that's probably going to be in it. Michigan, Texas dropped all the way to 17. And you have Georgia Tech at 16. 15, you got USC. That's Big Ten trying to sneak another one in there. At 15. 14 is Vandy. 13 is where the Miami Hurricanes sitting right now. 13. So they're coming back up. 12 is a Utah team.
Yeah, I thought they would. They're probably BYU at 11 then.
BYU is at 11. And here's where it gets interesting. And number 10, dropping 6 spots, the Alabama Crimson Tide at 10.
That's bad.
Notre Dame at 9.
That's bad.
And Oklahoma at 8. And that's kind of what I thought. I kind of thought it would be in that order. Honestly, I thought Bama would be above Notre Dame, but I knew I was pretty sure that Oklahoma would be above Alabama. And right above them at 7 is Oregon. So you got 7, Oregon, Oklahoma 8, Notre Dame 9, Alabama 10. The good thing is, for all these teams, they still have games in their future that could take them up. Alabama sitting at 10 is still slated if they went out to play in the SEC championship game. So
give me a 8 through 1 slowly.
We haven't quite all the way got there
Okay,
yet.
who's number 8?
Number 8 is Oklahoma.
And 7
is Oregon.
I'm typing this in on the thing.
I got you.
And 6, I think
is
6.
Ole Miss.
Okay, so they're waiting on 5 then.
Number 5 just popped up.
Should
The
be
Red
Georgia.
Raiders from Texas Tech.
Okay, Georgia be 4, yeah.
I would
I'll go
imagine this would be Georgia at 4, followed by A&M, followed by the 2 Big Ten teams. That's what I don't think it's going to change.
No.
We'll find out here in just a second. Georgia's at number 4. Three should be Texas A&M.
Okay.
And it is. And then it's going to be Indiana and Ohio State. So there's your – now, all right, this is the very interesting thing here. You have – can I share screens?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, should be able to.
I got like a million different plugs here. I'm going to share my external screen. We can share the entire screen. Screen 2. Oh, okay. No, I can't do it that way. Never mind. Apologize. I can see it though, so I can tell you. So, in the 12 spot, because they are one of the highest ranked non-power 4, I guess you'd say, currently in at the 12 spot would be Tulane. Now, obviously, there's going to be some changing probably because you'll have their championship games and all that. But Tulane in the rankings is 24th. But they will come all the way up to the 12th spot.
Right.
5 would be the Texas Tech. Let me go to 11 because that'll be the next one that will be inserted. 11 right now would be number 13 ranked Miami. They would be the highest representative from the ACC. Now, can Miami make the ACC championship game? I'm not sure if they can. If, say, Georgia Tech wins the ACC or Virginia wins the ACC, then they won't be ranked higher than Miami, but they will be the conference champ. So they will have to come up into that spot. Miami's only chance then would be to be an at-large team.
No, there ain't no way. They only got 2 more games. Even if they win those 2 games, which are conference games, they would be 6-2. They can't. They've lost too many conference games. Not unless SMU, Pitt, Virginia, and Georgia Tech are all ahead of Miami.
So they would all have to. 3 of them would have to really blow it.
Yeah.
I know Georgia Tech only has 1 more conference game because they play Georgia at the end of the year.
Yeah, they've got Pitt this weekend.
Yeah, so that's a huge game for them.
Yeah, it's at home too.
So, in my opinion, with Miami at 11, unless a bunch of people in front of them get knocked off, Miami's just a placeholder right now because they're going to get jumped by whoever wins the ACC. They have to be in as an at-large or they're not getting in. So right now, they're the highest-ranked ACC team. They got them penciled in at 11. 10 would obviously be Alabama. 9 would be – or the Alabama would be going against the 7 seed Oregon in the first round. The Miami team would be on the road at Ole Miss. 9, Notre Dame would be on the road at Oklahoma. And then Tulane at Texas Tech in the first round. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure I would take Texas Tech in that. Would you not? Would you?
Yes. You kind of have to, I think. So you got hang on here. So is Bama? They're 10 on the ranking, but what number are they?
10. That would be the 10 seed.
So they would play number 7.
They would go to Oregon in the first round. Correct. I would favor Bama, even though it's on the road at Oregon, which is 9-1. They just hadn't played anybody there.
Yeah, I would too. I could look for them to beat them.
And then me personally, Ole Miss and Miami, that's interesting. Probably go with Shamless and Ole Miss, but that's just me. I'm going to pick all the SEC teams.
it would be at Ole Miss, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you're going to get it at Hotty Toddy. Shamless is, dude, that Lacey kid, he can freaking run the football. He's had a good, he's had a good couple of weeks.
Speaking of running the football, Notre Dame at Oklahoma. Can Bryce Love carry Notre Dame through?
Yes. Yeah.
I think they're probably as good or better than Oklahoma, don't you think?
Yeah, Ole Miss. Lacey run for $130 on them. Oklahoma's they're not special. They just got a good kicker. And they try to create turnovers and they kick field goals off of it. And if you're scoring 0 and they're scoring 3 and you do that about 3 times, that's 9-0 pretty quick. And that's what they did in Tennessee. They're not a good football team. They're a trashy football team. They'll go in there and get just blanketed by somebody. But Venables is so smart, such a good D coach. He can have his team ready to attack any offense, but all you got to do is take care of the football. Texas beat them. Arch had a good day against them. They run the ball against them too.
So that would create 4 versus 5 in the second round. It'd be a neutral site, but it'd be Georgia and Texas Tech. Texas Tech got a pretty good defense. That would be a very interesting game to see. I still would favor Georgia. I think a little more physical than Texas Tech probably.
Have you seen them play this year?
I've seen a little bit. I haven't watched a whole lot.
I watched them play BYU that game.
Hammered them.
BYU, their quarterback looks like he's about 12. They looked a little overwhelmed. I think they got a little outcoached in that game. I just was not real impressed with Texas Tech. How they run and throw the ball, it's a real gimmicky kind of offense to me. That's just me. They don't mean nothing, but I don't know. I'm just not I'm not a real big believer.
So going down through there, you'd have the 1 versus 9 matchup would be Ohio State versus Notre Dame. And one would imagine Ohio State would probably be good enough to win that one. That's who I would put through, I think.
So that would be Notre Dame playing the winner of
No, Ohio State will be playing the winner of Notre Dame, Oklahoma. One gets the 8-9 winner.
Well, that'd be Ohio State. They could beat either one of those teams. I just, in watching Ohio State, I've watched them play one real game. They remind me a lot of Bama. Man, that game that I watched, they like Sayin throws the ball pretty well most of the time. They don't run the ball real great. They got good linebackers. They got their safeties cover well. They got one corner that's just kind of a good roamer, and he tackles hard. And then, of course, you got Downs back there running the show. And between Sabb and Hubbard, I think he equals the one of Downs. They throw their tight ends a little bit. They really remind me a lot of each other. Ty's just not taking care of the ball, but Sayin's not having to play. He played a top 50 defense, Jeff, but once this year. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they just have to play their schedule. Yeah, Texas Tech, their offensive coach, which is Mac Leftwich, and he come there last year. He had he was part of that offensive stuff, Burge, like at Florida Atlantic and that kind of stuff, So that's the kind of offense kind of stuff they kind of do, a little bit of what Lane had, when he was down there in the South Florida area coaching ball. Yeah, and let's see, let's see here. Let me find that over here. There it is. Go to Ohio State, and yeah, Bo Jackson, 700-yard rusher at Ohio State. That's crazy to think a number one team. You got a quarterback throw for 2,600 and a tailback's only rushed for 700 yards. He's only got 3 touchdowns. The Donaldson guys rushed for 280 and he's got 9. So your leading rusher is, it's just an odd time of year. I mean, it's just odd in football to see a guy to have, 700 yards rushing on the leading, the best team in the country. Nate Frazier, 647 yards. We're just going by the top teams here. I'm going to look at A&M. Dude, that Owens kid at A&M, guess what he's rushed for? Yeah, 500. Yeah. And Reed, the quarterback, is rushed for like 390. So I know Jam is like under that. So those are all let's look at what is let me find this one. Cast Ohio State. Come on here. Minnesota. I'm trying to
Where's your bracket?
Okay. Come on, man. Okay. And Indiana, let's go to statistics. Their quarterback, same as everybody, 2,600 yards, top rusher. That Hemby kid, 700 yards. It's crazy. He's got 5 touchdowns. So they ain't nobody out there. They ain't nobody out there just burning it up, running the football, and the Bama fans are down on Bama because that's what their fans do. They're going to be down on their team. That's why I tried to tell somebody today. It's like, well, they're down on them because that's their team, and like it's hard to have a conversation with somebody that watches 3 hours of football a week. When I look at all the teams, all the stats, Bama's top rusher. Let's see. Yeah, 350 yards. That's terrible. That's embarrassing.
Who do you like out of say that next round, A&M and Ole Miss?
Let's see here. Let me take this thing off the bottom and take this. Where's that go? There it is. Let me study this a second here.
Definitely some interesting games.
Let's see. I'll take round 3, which is over there on the 4 boxes to the right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll announce those. What's up, Mark? I'll tell you who I think is going to make it to those boxes on the right, beside Ohio State, Georgia. I'll take Ohio State over Notre Dame. I'll take Georgia over Texas Tech.
It's tougher there.
I'll take give me Ole Miss over A&M. And give me Alabama over Indiana by 36.
I knew you was gonna say that. I was waiting on the answer for that last one.
44 final score, Alabama, Indiana, 44-14.
Now, I don't like Indiana just as much as the other person, but I don't think Bama beats them 44-14.
Okay, 36-28.
I mean, that's good.
They have not ever seen the DBs that are and the defense. They ain't never seen a Tim Keenan, a Yancey Pierre. They have not seen a Sab. They ain't seen a Red Morgan. Their offense has not ever seen guys like that. Some of their guys may have not ever seen players like that. Some of those guys are a lot from up north. The speed that they're going to see on defense, they are going to be up creek when their quarterback has about 1.1 seconds to throw the football. Everybody's good and got a plan until they have a pass rush put in their face, and he's in a hurry to throw the football. It's just not going to work out for him. There's just no way. There's no way. If Bama was favored by 10.5 in that game, I'd take the points. There's just no way. They ain't seen the athletes on defense that they'll see. There's no way. It would be the same thing if they played Georgia. Oh yeah. Speaking of,
extremely interested. Go ahead.
CJ Allen, what's up? Was he out, done, hurt? I know he come limping off. What's the final?
It was knee concerns. From what I understand, he's day to day. He's not going to play this week, obviously, against Charlotte. They don't think it's a major concern. Okay. Everything was negative, so he should be okay.
Okay. Yeah, they need him. Those are the kind of guys you want to keep. Now,
I was very impressed how the backups played, though. I mean, I was
too. Yeah,
I was honestly a little bit shocked.
No, I wasn't shocked. Kirby's he's gonna have guys that can play. Ole Miss and Bama on the right there. I think Shamliss, if he plays a good game, I don't know if Bama can do much with him. I would probably that would be at Ole Miss too, because they're the top. So give me Ole Miss moving on, and Georgia and Ohio State. I'm just not sure that. I don't think Ohio State can play enough against the run game of Georgia. And Sayin has just not had anybody try to pull his pantyhose up over his back lip. So give me Georgia, Ole Miss, and the Dogs to win it all. That's kind of where I'd be at. Just in a view from 30,000 feet, and I just made all this analysis within 10 seconds and not giving it a whole lot of thought. Sometimes you make better predictions when you just kind of see it how you see it off the cuff real quick, I guess. I mean.
Well, I can tell you this. I was flipping over to Massey. Massey does like Ole Miss over A&M by 3. And Massey likes Indiana by 3 over Alabama.
Yeah, but see, computer don't have these 4 eyes that I got.
I know what you're saying. I get it.
And they would probably like Ohio State over Georgia.
That's what I was just pulling up. Yeah, 27 or 28, 21. They like them by 7.
I know Ohio State's defense is I'm just telling you, man, here's something you just can never count for in all the 35 years of football I've watched and keeping up with it closely and digging in it more deeply in the past 5-6 years. Everybody's got this plan to have a good quarter, and quarterbacks win football games. I know they say defense wins championships, but that was 1995. That was 1999. That was 2019. Well, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't either. Offense won that. Maybe one of Bama's teams that beat Notre Dame was one of the best legit. Hell, their offense was all great. The real legit defense to just shut people down. That was probably one of the last good defenses that really win it. After that, man, Clemson's. We saw what happened there. I mean, they had some dudes on offense, but they had a quarterback, man. And if Sayin is running and scrambling, how good is he running, scramble, and throw the ball, Burge? Because I've seen Ohio State play twice this year, and many people's not getting after him.
No, there's nobody there to get after him.
Not really. And
what if Indiana gets after him? What if Indiana has a way to beat Ohio State in that championship game? What happens then? That's going to – how far does Ohio State fall? Maybe 2-3 spots?
Yeah, I would assume they would just nearly swap Georgia and probably put Ohio State 3, maybe, but kind of just rotate it.
Yeah, it all depends on what A&M does. If A&M wins the SEC or if they lose, because they'll drop out. So there's still a ton of movement left.
There is, yes.
And there ain't but 2 weeks left, but there's still a ton of movement.
Well, they said today on, a couple of different shows I listen to at work all the time, like The Next Round and Joel Klatt and Josh Pate and all those guys from Locked on Bama, Locked on Auburn. They're all saying, hey, we can't make a decision about this SEC till after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because you don't know who's going to be in it. There is a website that you can go over all the different scenarios. Have you seen it? Have you tried using it?
No.
It's pretty cool. Let's see if I can find it. I will. See if I can share my screen. I don't know if that's seeable, depending on who's looking. But here's how you do it. Basically, you make selections on November 22nd and obviously the 28th and 29th. So what I'll do here, remaining conference games. This is between the people who actually matter and how it finishes. I'll ask you, and then we'll pick who we think should win, or we'll do the different scenarios here. So in this scenario, it has Tennessee beating Florida, Oklahoma over Missouri. I think this is just the who's favored. Texas over Arkansas, and then Vandy over Kentucky. I can get on board with that, maybe. We'll stick with that for now.
Yeah.
Ole Miss over Mississippi State, A&M over Texas, Missouri over Arkansas, Alabama over Auburn, Oklahoma, LSU, and then Tennessee over Vandy that last week. If that's the way it finishes,
Yeah.
then you will get your A&M, Bama, and the SEC. All right?
Yeah.
Simple as that. I'm not sure if the Florida-Tennessee thing changes anything, but let's say Texas was to upset Texas A&M, and we can leave Tennessee. That's going to give you Alabama, Georgia, in your championship game. There are a few different things, and I think it was between Arkansas, Vandy, and maybe one other team. If two of those three teams win, I think it was Florida, Arkansas. Maybe it changes who would go and see based on head to head.
Yeah, Ole Miss, because Ole Miss, A&M, and Bama, it would change it because Georgia would go over Bama because of not head to head, but points. If Bama loses to Auburn,
yeah.
If Bama lost to Auburn, and even if Ole Miss wins,
it would put Georgia against A&M.
Yeah,
and Bama would drop all the way to 5th based on head to head.
There's some kind of scenario today that the round table, the next round, Jeff Dunham, that even Bama beating Auburn this weekend.
Yeah, I think it was that scenario where two of the three, I think maybe.
I could have sworn it had something to do with.
No, that's not it neither. I'm gonna find it.
There was a way that put Texas as a winner.
Well, that gives you Alabama, Georgia.
Okay.
It had A&M winning, and then there was something else. Maybe it was Kentucky.
No, wait a minute. Hang on. Put Ole Miss back.
All right.
Put Ole Miss back winning. And Ole Miss to win, and was it A&M or no? I changed the Texas and A&M.
Well, that's going
that would knock them out.
Yeah, that's going to knock A&M out. So the scenario had Georgia playing A&M without Texas.
But Bama,
I don't remember how we got to that.
But Bama winning, against Auburn.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's something to do. Let's see. It's something to do with opponent win percentage.
Yes.
And so that would lead me to believe that Texas would have to win there. It'd have to be somebody that maybe Georgia has played and beaten that Alabama hadn't.
Which is Ole Miss.
But Ole Miss would have to win.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I still don't. It's still not coming up with that.
What if it's Texas and
there it is. Arkansas. All right. So here's what have to happen. Let's see. Okay.
Yes, this is it. Y'all pay attention right here.
That was it.
This is stupid. You listen, I'm telling you, everybody better pay attention to this. This is stupid. This
It's
is
stupid.
listen, they will burn. Somebody will probably die. There may be death. And this
So
is what
here,
has to happen.
it does not matter. It looks like it does not matter between the Florida
No.
Tennessee game. So that game doesn't matter. So honestly, Florida's got a good as chance as Tennessee
Yeah,
is winning that game.
So
Oklahoma,
Missouri, which is probably likely.
correct.
Texas probably beats Arkansas, which is likely.
Correct.
And Arkansas beats Missouri.
Yeah, I think it has to be. Yeah, Arkansas would have to beat Missouri.
Okay.
And then Arkansas would have to beat either Texas or Kentucky would have to beat Vanderbilt.
So Arkansas's got to, even if they lose to Texas, if they beat Missouri the next week.
Yep.
That's
it hinges on the Kentucky game too, because if Vandy beats Kentucky, Alabama will have the higher win percentage.
So
Kentucky is the kicker.
So this week, Vandy's probably going to beat Kentucky.
I would imagine.
So it hinges on Arkansas. They're the ones that could mess this up.
Well, Arkansas, no matter what Arkansas does, even if Arkansas beats Texas and Missouri,
okay,
without that Kentucky win, you got to have one more.
You got to have another common opponent. That's what it is.
Yep.
So which is the common opponent? Is Missouri got to beat Oklahoma?
No, because y'all play. Georgia didn't play Missouri. Alabama did. So that's no help. Pretty sure it hinges on Kentucky.
What does it look like?
No.
No shit.
Yeah.
We just had it up there.
Yeah, I know. And Texas has to win.
Okay. All right, hang on.
Yep.
Now, what was the scenario for that? That's the one you got to take a picture of. Screenshot it.
Oklahoma. Yeah, you're right.
I'm going to screenshot it. Hang on. Okay, got it. And okay, I got it.
So I couldn't get it to happen any other way. It shouldn't, because Alabama's played all these other teams. So it really hinges on Arkansas beating Missouri and Kentucky beating Vanderbilt, which that's not going to happen.
But if it does, and Alabama beats Auburn, and they're 10-2. Where does it put? God damn it! Where does it put Bama then?
If Kentucky does win
that put Georgia plays A&M for the SEC.
Yep.
So that put Bama at 4 in the conference.
Yeah. Ole Miss with Bama below Georgia based on conference opponent win percentage. Yeah, it's totally.
But honestly, and the percentages is like 0.4844.
Yeah.
I don't know if does Kirby want to go play another game?
I don't think it matters to Kirby. I am a Georgia fan. I do not care to go to the SEC championship game. If we do go, I want to win it.
Yeah.
If we don't go, think about this. If you don't go to the SEC championship game, your last game for Georgia during the regular season is Friday the 28th of November against Georgia Tech. If you happen to be one of those top 4 teams, you may not play again until January. It might be 6 weeks before you hit the field again. That's going to be very interesting. So with a Vandy win, I don't think it matters what happens, even if Auburn beats. Well, no, Auburn beats Bama. That changes things. But
so if Vandy
There's no other way that the only other way Georgia gets in is if Texas beats A&M.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about Vandy and LSU or any of those games. So it's either going to be, I mean, pretty much there's only three options. Texas A&M, Bama, Texas A&M, Georgia, which is the least likely option, or Alabama, Georgia. No, nobody else has a say, correct?
No. Yeah, that's Georgia A&M, and that's Bama A&M and Georgia. Ain't that weird? Ole Miss don't. Is there? They ain't a scenario one to put Ole Miss in the SEC title game.
Nope. And they're 7-1. They got one loss. They can't get.
That don't make no sense. Like you'd think, like somehow. I mean,
yeah. Let me go.
It's because they don't play Bama. There's a conundrum there.
Let's see here. See if it says anything about Ole Miss. All right. Ole Miss reaches the SEC championship game if Mississippi State, or if they beat Mississippi State. Okay, we got that. Yep. Texas beats Texas A&M. All right, we got that. And Auburn beats Alabama. That'll put Georgia and Ole Miss in the title game.
That is, I'm telling you, that's likely. That is very. I'm telling you,
there is a fourth possibility.
Hold on. Oklahoma, LSU, Tennessee. Hang on. On the right box, make Vandy the winner at Tennessee. At the bottom on the right box. Vandy, okay. Yeah. This is what I'm looking at the next week. That's what's going to happen. And
wow.
Ole Miss, they're going to get revenge. They're going to get some get back on you.
I don't know. Hey, that would be an interesting game.
This on the right box side for everybody watching, November 28th and 9th. That Vandy game is at Vandy, ain't it? Tennessee. I think it is.
I don't know, but I can look real quick.
Well, that's how they got it laid out, Zach. I did say that. That's what the committee's got picked. That's not what I'm picking though, because they're assuming that. I mean, right now, like that, Bama's going to beat Auburn. I just don't. I don't know how we can do that.
Now, what game are you asking about?
The Tennessee and Vandy.
It's at Neyland.
Give me Tennessee over there. Does that change anything?
That does not change a thing.
That's what's going to happen. Go ahead and
write all based on Auburn, Alabama, Texas A&M there.
It could be but if A&M beats Texas over there.
If A&M beats Texas, it's A&M.
A&M Georgia, yeah.
They'll be undefeated.
Oklahoma will be 4. Shit, where's Bama at on that one?
5. Below A&M based on head-to-head.
I'm telling you, the board may need to take that Penn State job. Maybe.
Come on now.
Maybe it's just ain't cut out for him. He's just, I don't know, man.
This is the finish that I see. I see
the pressure's tight, man. The pressure's tight.
I see chalk, and I see this finish. And A&M Alabama would be a very interesting. I would tune in to watch that game. it would be huge as far as how the bracket is going to square up, because if A&M goes in and wins, then they're going to be no lower than 3, because that's where they're at right now. No, they won't be lower than 3. They will be 2 with a win, because they will jump the loser of the Big Ten title game.
Right. Yeah.
So they'll be the 2 seed, and they'll play the winner of whoever the 10-7 is. In that case, all right, say Texas A&M, I don't know, say they beat Bama and they're the 2 seed. And for sake of argument, Indiana loses to Ohio State.
A 3-loss Bama team, they're going to keep them in? Losing their conference game?
That's the question.
No.
You're not supposed to dock them for playing that extra game now.
No, well, but they lost to a shitty Florida State team, so they need to get their crap together. And the board needs to stop making excuses and saying that he likes how the guys are competing, because I don't like how they're competing, because they lose to shitty teams.
Well, all right, let's see here. Oregon has got a game coming up. Who does Oregon got left on their schedule? Do you remember off the top of your head? I don't either.
Yeah, Piggly Wiggly, Ron Coosa Valley Equipment.
Thank you all the sponsors.
Coosa Valley Bank up there in Rome, Georgia. Florida Rock is going to be their last game incorporated.
Are you naming all your sponsors, or are you saying who Oregon's playing?
That's who Oregon's playing. Freaking losers. It's freaking terrible.
I don't really think they got much left.
Rockmart Community College, come on down here.
Hey, that'd be tough. You don't want nothing to do with that Rockmart community. Now, I think Oregon does have USC left.
Maybe they'll play Calhoun or something. Freaking losers.
Oregon plays USC this weekend. That is an important matchup for both of those teams.
Yeah,
I think at 9-1, if Oregon loses to USC, which is it's in Oregon, I think Oregon's done, and that's going to help Alabama's situation. That'll move them up even more. I don't think you have to worry about Miami. I think they're not going to lose their way out, but I think they're just not going to be there. They're not going to move up enough to sneak in. If they do, boy, the ACC gets lucky.
Where the crap is Georgia?
Georgia Tech? Is that what you're going to say?
Why is Miami 11?
I don't know. Georgia Tech is 16, and Miami has 2 losses. Georgia Tech has 1.
Dude, what are we doing?
I think the fact that Georgia Tech has had to come back against multiple teams.
So
they're still winning. I get it.
Yeah. Let me find Miami over here. I know what it is. I forgot. Yeah.
Trying to get the ACC more teams in?
No. Let's see if I can find it. I'm on. Because they beat Notre Dame opening the season.
Yeah. See, but Notre Dame's a little bit inflated. They're 2-loss team sitting there at 9.
But that gives what that does, though, that gives them validity for keeping Notre Dame up there so high.
Yeah.
Because they can say, well, Miami, they did beat Notre Dame's 10, though. I mean, Miami beat a good team. See, the game was close.
Miami is currently sitting 5th in the ACC at 13, with number 16 Georgia Tech and number 19 Virginia at 1 and 2 in the conference. Going to play in the conference title game right now, and they're 6 and 9 spots better. Well, 3 and 6 spots better than both of those teams. That doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
that Alabama, Oregon, Notre Dame have combined for 5 wins against other ranked teams. Yes, it's true. Alabama has beaten number 4 Georgia, 14 Vandy, 20 Tennessee, 22 Missouri. Notre Dame has beaten, number 15 USC. Oregon has a big win against, it just says error 404, page not found. And yet the Tide check in at number 10 this week, barely on the fringe of the playoffs behind both the Ducks and the Irish. Why? Because Alabama had to lose a game last week by 2 points in which it has missed a field goal attempt of a controversial tip ball, which a man jumped the line and cheated, and it's illegal, and the ref did not call it. Bama missed their re-kick opportunity and doubled Oklahoma's yardage, and based on yet success rates, were clearly the unluckiest team in the country last week. So Parker Fleming says, did we really get beat that bad? Net success rates in week 12 by request. Holy moly. Okay, hold on here, Burns. Just bear with me. Share screen. X. Boom. Check that thing out.
Hold on, what we got here? Oh, my lordy. It's a file right there.
Man, that's okay. I can't.
The only one I can see is Tennessee.
I see Georgia in the middle. Georgia and Texas. Okay. Yeah. I'll just tell you, if you just want to sum it up real clearly, what I just read to you and what that guy just said. Let me read that tiny little short sentence again. Would you believe that Alabama, Oregon, and Notre Dame have combined for 5 wins against other ranked teams? 5 wins against other ranked teams. Those 3 teams. So it is true. Alabama has beaten 4 Georgia, 14 Vandy, 20 Tennessee, and 22 Missouri. Notre Dame has beaten 15 USC, and Oregon has beaten nobody. And yet the Tide check in at number 10 this week, barely on the fringe of the playoffs behind both Oregon and Notre Dame. So they're valuing Bama's loss against Florida State and loss against Oklahoma, 7 or 8. They're valuing those losses more than their wins. So basically, boys, Zach, the Nick Saban treatment's over, boys. Pack your bag and get your shit. Bama ain't going to never win another because they going to make sure of it. I'm just telling you, it's not going to – because they're not even going to beat Auburn next Saturday. So I don't know why we're even talking about this anyway. They're not even going to play for no SEC title. They're not going to playoffs. It's just the Pied Piper. You got to – look, man, when you win so many games, somebody has to pay somewhere down the line. And DeBoer just happens to be the unlucky guy that's going to have to pay. Now, if DeBoer takes the Penn State job and Kiffin finds out about it, Lane, he may divert from Louisiana and turn his old taxi around and head up to T-Town and take that job. Somebody's got to pay. The Saban effect's it's just done. Those little winks and nods that he used to get because of the respect that everybody had for him and what he's done, that's over. If Saban, Birds agree or disagree, if Nick Saban is the coach at Alabama right now, they're ranked 6 or 7.
Probably higher than that because they don't lose to Florida State week 1. Well, I get where you're coming from, though.
You just had to put it in and turn it a little bit hard, didn't you?
Well, I'm just saying he wouldn't let that happen. I don't believe.
You had to just stick it in a little bit deeper.
Well, I'm just giving.
I'm saying no. We'll say that he did lose to Florida State. They ain't 10.
I mean, maybe 5 years ago or 6 years, 10 years. I don't know, man. I just feel like the college football is changing, ever so changing. That it's there. Nobody's going to have that aura that Alabama had while he was there. You're just not going to be able to have that.
No, of course not. It's not fair to ask somebody to try to do it, and it's not.
I mean, nobody's going to replicate that. I mean, it just ain't going to happen.
I just think they're getting a little bit of extra shade thrown on them. They're not valuing those wins are just obviously they don't mean nothing because
I mean, I told you before we started that I expected Oklahoma to definitely be in front of them, and I didn't know what they would do with Notre Dame. But they love on Notre Dame, man. I'm telling you, they're loving on them.
It's always been that way. That's
and
why
they got Miami up there to help them love on them.
Yes. Now you paid attention. So you thinking macro, not micro. Micro is just thinking, well, Notre Dame's just in it because, they've beat one ranked team. Alabama's beat 4 ranked teams. Oh, well, why are they so odd? Oh, wait a minute. But Miami, oh, yeah. Macro view says that's why Miami's hanging around in there. Are you kidding me? They're not the best team in their conference. They're like 6th in the conference. Go look at their record. There's like 4 teams in that conference ahead of them.
Yeah,
Georgia Tech.
We just talked about it. Yeah,
Virginia,
SMU. Pitt.
They're like 5th in their conference. How in the shit is Notre Dame? Is Miami ranked in this playoff? Because they beat Notre Dame. And that gives Notre Dame their little anchor to drag around and say, well, now that we beat USC, that's the ranked team they've beat. But Oregon and Notre Dame can be look, man, how you fix that Alabama fans and the crying was over there in the corner sobbing and trying to cut their wrist with a dull switchblade that you had that's got a picture of Nick Saban on the blade that you got.
Just win.
Win the dang game. Just kick the damn field goal and stop hollering at the freaking snapper. Get the snap down. It was high. I said it don't matter.
He was mad at him.
Bro, it don't matter if the snap was high. He can't kick it no way. I've seen him miss field goals with a great snap. So I tell him to eat a bag somewhere and I'll catch him outside and I'll beat his teeth out. I mean, for real.
Yeah, I hear you.
Just win the games. It's the realization that DeBoer he's in his infancy to understand it's everybody's Super Bowl to play Alabama every week.
Yeah.
So it's the SEC, man. This ain't the Pac-4. You don't just go right down the road. Let's just go to the Rose Bowl and we'll play UCLA today because UCLA could probably give 2 craps less because they got a bunch of freaks running around out in the streets down there protesting about some weird stuff. They don't even care about football.
I mean, it's a gauntlet. I mean, that's why all these SEC
every week you line up, you can get beat. Florida is. Did you just anybody watch Florida and Ole Miss this weekend? Florida's won 3 games.
Yeah.
Ole Miss should have beat them by 30. No. Go watch that game because I watched it. Bet me money that Auburn does not get beat by 20 points by Alabama like used to when we were way better than them. I remember like 2010, 11, 12, or 13 right in there. We beat them like 55-0 or something, then like 44-20 the next year. That's done. It's over.
Yeah, I agree.
So miss me on all that bull crap. It's just different, man.
What if you put, you were talking about Florida. What if you gave Florida Indiana's schedule? Florida's up here in this ranking.
They win 7 games.
Probably more than that.
Let me look. Because I just had their schedules up here. Where'd they go?
I mean, Florida and Oregon, that's the first game. I mean, Iowa will be be tough. Oregon.
Are you talking about
Penn
Indiana
State will be
schedule?
tough. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think at max they might have 3 losses right now. I mean, come on now. They're going to beat Old Dominion. They're going to beat Kennesaw. They're going to beat Indiana State. Illinois, I think they could beat Illinois. They're not as good as what they were then. Iowa would be tough. I like Iowa. They're physical. Be tough, but Florida can play a tough physical game. Oregon also tough.
They win 9 games. 8.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say 8.
At least.
They beat Michigan State, UCLA, Maryland, and Wisconsin. And probably Purdue.
Yeah.
Florida wins 5 games. I mean, Florida wins probably 8 games. And
let's reverse it.
Okay, let's find
Florida's schedule.
Okay.
All right. Indiana's going to beat Long Island. They'll probably beat South Florida. Indiana, LSU.
Son of a crap.
Tough.
Where's the
Indiana, Miami?
Come on, mouse. I'm trying to.
I'd give Indiana 4, maybe 5 losses already. 5 losses looking at this schedule.
Okay, they win 1, 2. They could beat LSU.
I think so.
I like to see them play Miami.
Yep.
Texas be a good game. It would be at Indiana. I mean, if they're playing this is a home game.
Yeah.
Then they're going to go to A&M, lost. Mississippi State plays them a freaking good game and beats the crap out of them before then they got to come home and host to play Georgia. They don't beat Georgia, Ole Miss, or Tennessee. So that's 3,
4 losses.
Maybe 5 if Miami or LSU, one of them beats them.
Or Texas. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So just, maybe flip a coin on LSU, Miami, Texas. And here's the thing, people. I'm sorry, Big Ten fans. You can listen and just plug your ears up. Here's the thing. Look right here at Florida. We're talking about Florida's schedule. We're looking at it here and pretend that Indiana is Florida. It's not just they got to go to LSU. The problem is they go to LSU, to Miami, host Texas, play A&M, Mississippi State, Georgia. They play all those teams every freaking week. It's not, oh gosh, we got to go play a tough Iowa team. And then the next 3 weeks you play UCLA, Maryland, Rutgers. You don't even play your starters. They're out by the third quarter or halftime. Good luck going playing LSU, Miami, Texas, A&M, Mississippi State, Georgia. You get a break for Kentucky. Then you get to finish out with Ole Miss and Tennessee. And then the best offense in the country in Florida State.
I mean,
so miss me on all the Big Ten has got the swinging. They ain't got slap nuts. It's not going to happen. They're going to win 7 games maybe. They'll make a bowl game. It's not just that we're saying that the conference is better. We're saying that overall, as a whole, the problem is playing bam, bam, bam. Bama went for 1 solid month playing solid ranked teams every Saturday. Every Saturday, Bama went 2 times. They went on the road, and they won all 4. And they get shit on and get put at 10. Do you understand why some SEC people may be a little upset? They went 4 weeks in a row, played 4 ranked teams, traveled for 2 of them, and you put them at 10? And Notre Dame's beat USC? Bull. That is what pisses. You're not valuing the wins. And they just told us last year, we're really going to value the wins more this year, Steve. I mean, we're really looking into it, except we're going to just get Notre Dame out and just go deep on them. It's bull crap.
I'm going to hop off here in a second, and I'm going to see. I got it paused. I'm going to see what they have to say about these particular rankings, and then we can talk more about it next time we hop on here.
Yeah, Indiana, just right. Indiana, it's going to be the same thing as last year. Ohio State is the SEC team of the North. That's the way Urban built them. That's how they play. Mark says that the closer that the competitiveness is crazy. The post today that everyone to score this year went the other way, and the whole top 12 is different. Auburn will be a top 10 probably. This is how close most of the matchups are. Yeah.
I mean, they're playing a lot of one-score games. I mean,
Indiana wins 5.
Maybe 7. I think 5's a little.
Will be nice to say 7. But it's the hard part is doing it, like you said, week after week after week after week, on the road, at home. You're playing these tough teams.
Yep.
All right, bro. Appreciate you jumping in here and hanging on.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I'll be back on Thursday night. Everybody, y'all welcome to come back. Twitterverse, remember, retweet the page here. Facebook, everybody like, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you. We love you. Y'all have a great week. See y'all. Peace.
See you.